Hey guys, JLW Games, this is Joe Wendell coming at you with a tutorial on NoLimits Coaster 2. Really awesome game, roller coaster simulator, so a lot of you have requested me to do a tutorial on the basics. So let's go to File, New, and create a new park. So you gotta create a park to create a coaster, of course. And I'm gonna go NoLimits tutorial. That's a awesome park name. So let's click yes. It will create our park. Sorry, my throat's a little bit dry right now, so I might be coughing or clearing my throat a lot in this video. So I'm sorry about that. I'm going to start in the top view. Now you're going to want to go to Coaster tab and create a new coaster. NoLimits tutorial, whatever, it doesn't matter. You create it however you want. I'm going to go to Coaster Properties, and we're going to go ahead and set our properties. You can add a description if you want. You can go to Style. There's so many different types of styles you can use, but we're going to just go with the wooden coaster, classic 4-seat. If you want to create your first basic coaster, you're going to want to use a wooden coaster. It's the easiest. Mode, I always leave the same. On trains, we're going to leave that the same for right now. And then colors, you can go ahead and choose some colors. I have my wood color right here that I use for my wooden coasters. It looks like a pretty nice wood color, so we're going to use that. Now the car, let's make it red. Let's make the seat black. And the harness orange. Pretty basic, so now we're going to go scripts. You can leave that blank. That's a lot more advanced stuff. And then you have your coaster statistics, which we're not going to worry about unless you want to see the coaster statistics, which there are none because there is no coaster now. To do that, we're going to click track, and you're going to click add vertex to start your coaster. So we're in the top view. I always do this in the top view. Click wherever you want, and then you're going to click however long you want your station to be. So right there's good. And then I always add another one right there because you'll see why. Now we have, this is going to be our station. And now we're going to go to left. And there's our coaster station. Obviously we're going to change the section type later. And you're going to see why I added this second nod. Now if we click to go downwards, you see the whole entire thing bends down. And that's why we kept that where it needs to, where I want it to be. Now if you wanted to do more, you can always add insert vertex. You can always insert in between vertices here, and that's how you do that. But you can move this further this way and it'll be more straight like that. That works. And if you ever want to add, if you want to continue your coaster, always use add vertex. We're going to level this out, and we're going to go into our lift. So if you click off of it for a while, you're going to click on the last nod that you place, which is right here, and then click add vertex. That way it's going to be straight when you add. So we're going to go ahead and add one more here, and we're going to want to add our lift hill. So I want it to go, you can create the steepness or whatever you want to do on your coaster here. Let's go right here, and to level it out, I always have another one right there going the same way, and then straighten it out like that. That way our lift hill remains straight. It's a pretty straight lift hill, and that's how we want it. And if you want to really straighten it out, I would move this down here. And that looks good. Nice straight lift hill. And if you want to go into the really specific stuff, you can double click on those and add your numbers. But we're not going to do that. So I'm going to click the end here. Add vertex. And now we're going to create our first hill, which I'll create one right there. And whoops, I want underground. And Control Z is undo. And here's our first hill. And then you can, I usually go and select, kind of put it where I want these at, make it look a little better. And then after that, you want to select everything on your first hill, select all those nodes, go to element and depump vertices. You're going to want to use this a lot. As you can see, it makes it a lot smoother. That's what it's supposed to do. So we'll go back to track, select and modify. Let's go from here and add a vertex. Now let's level that out and kind of smooth that a little bit better. There we go. Now we have our first drop, and if you always want to make sure it's straight, go to the top view, and as you can see, that's going underground. I don't know why it doesn't show it's going underground right here, but it is. So we're gonna raise that up a little bit, which is all right. And you know it will do that, so just be prepared. So don't get too close to the ground or it'll go up. And still, we're not going to worry about it. You can, but this is just showing you basics, and that's all we're doing. So now, let's create a basic hill. So, let's go ahead and select the end right here, add a vertex, and just kind of shape your hill out wherever to make sure it's not taller than your first drop. And there you go. It's pretty horrific looking, but that's alright. I just wanted to place it in the general area. Then we're just gonna adjust these little things, nodes, whatever you call them, and the spots. So now you're gonna want to select what you got so far again. Let's go ahead and select all these. Go to element and depump vertices. That's going to be your friend using that. It's a really nice tool. It smooths the coaster out. And now we have a really good looking hill. So there's that. Now we're going to go back to track. Make sure you select the end here. And now we're going to create a overbank turn, or a turn, whatever you want like to call it. So I got that selected. And now we're going to go to add vertex, go to the top view like I am now, and we're going to create a nice big curve going back the other way. And then select these to where you want to place them at. It doesn't have to be perfect. Well, and I guess it does. Alright, now I got that where I want it. We're going to go to perspective, which is the 3D view. And in here, as you can see, we got our curve here. We're going to raise these up to where we want them in this view. So just mess around here and put these where you want them. Alright, and I like that height and everything on this turn. So now we're going to go back to the top view where we were. As you can see, I completely ruined how I want, or how this was. So we're going to go ahead and replace where we had it to make it a nice curve. I did that just to set the height of the curve, and I found it the easiest. Trust me, I've been messing around too much with these overbank turns and trying to get them right. So that's how I do it. And now, of course, after you got that, select the overbank turn, go to element and depump vertices. This will smooth it out. There you have it. There's your depumped vertices. And if you go to perspective, we want to make sure it looks good. And I like the way it's looking so far. It doesn't look too bad. And now I'm going to go ahead. You should probably do this at the beginning anyways. Go to track and add roll. Now you want to add these throughout the entire track. I always put even on the lift, keep them level. because your track will kind of go haywire sometimes, and it's a pain. So let's go ahead and add these. And then on your overbank turns, you kind of just want to, every so often, add one. Because this is where you're going to want it to actually start banking. So you go to select and modify after you just place those. And I'm going to go to this one, because that's when I want to start banking. Now you can type in a number on the degree if you want, but it's up to you. I always just go no lat G-force, and that will make it as smooth as possible on the curves here. Just double click each one and click no lat G-force, and it curves it out the way you want it. So select this one, and that's where I want it to level out. So there's your overbank turn, or your curve or turn, whatever you want to call it, after our hill here. As you can see, this seems like pretty steep for a wood coaster, and that actually doesn't, I don't know, you would have to test it out and change it to what you want, but it will try and keep it the way best it can, the way you had it before on when you add the no lat, or when you depump the vertices. I'm going to go ahead and fix this a little bit. Now that's not on the ground. But that's pretty much the basics of NoLimits 2, because those are the two elements that you're going to really need, is your hills and your turns, curves and stuff. That's how you pretty much do them. And yeah, so now one more thing I want to show you. If you ever accidentally get this to where it's not straight, you can go ahead and select all of what you want to be straight, like this, and make sure you click Make Straight 2D Top, and that'll completely make the track straight. So that's really nice too. Also, if you're, usually I use this on the station part, but if you want to make this strict, you can, and it'll kind of straighten it out a little bit more. But this has been NoLimits 2 on the basics. So now I'm going to go to perspective, and if you ever want to see what your coaster looks like in the final, you can also go to coaster and then click freeze, and it'll show you what you got so far. I haven't built the supports yet, so it just has the track. So that's cool, and that's what it looks like so far. And you can't edit it in that view. So, and now let's go to supports. We're gonna go to supports, and now you can click wooden generator and generate final, and I like to do this second one here, and that will generate your wooden supports. Now if you're doing a steel coaster, you're gonna have to place all those yourself, and there's some prefabricated different supports on those, but for your wooden generator, it automatically makes it your supports, which is really nice. That's why I suggest going with a wood coaster first. And if you want to add trees and scenery, you can go here and click choose, go to library, and it's usually under 3D trees, stuff like that. Click it, click OK, and then make sure you click add object, and then you can actually place these trees wherever you want. So that's the scenery aspect of it. And terraforming's another completely different tutorial that I'd probably do. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If there's any specific tutorials you want me to do, this has just been a real basic so far, and I completely forgot to show you guys something. One sec. So after you get your layout done, don't forget this. I can't believe I forgot to show you guys. You want to go to track, add type separator, and this is where you choose the different types here. Click it on the track. You probably want to do it before you clear, or before you do supports there. Gosh dang it. Track, add type separator. Yeah, very little important thing I almost forgot. And that's where we're going to want our station, so we'll put 2 there. And this is where we're going to want our lift. Sometimes it's a little tricky to click it on here. Right here. We want the lift to end right there. And then you can go ahead and go to select modify, select that piece, oops, and click section type. This is our station, and you can always make it bigger by clicking and dragging. Now we're going to click here, click section type and lift, and etc, etc. It's the same for brakes as well when you go into a brake section. So there, now I've shown you everything. I can't believe I forgot about the type separator, but there you go. That's your first No Limits coaster tutorial here. If you guys want something more specific, please let me know. But that's just kind of the basics. Your hills, overbank turns, lift, and station right there in No Limits 2. And remember, always use this button right here, depump vertices. That's your friend. Do not forget about that button. It will make the track smooth and make it look a lot better. It will feel better and just whatnot. So don't ever forget that. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. If there's any more tutorials you want me to do, please let me know on No Limits 2. But thanks you guys for watching. I will see you later. Have a nice day.